Hey guys, so no fancy setup this time. I just wanted to record a quick video sharing some raw thoughts. So I just got back from another one of my, I don't know what to call them, like my retreat weeks, where essentially I decided to just book an Airbnb for a whole week and went away, break up my routine, and it was just me and my laptop, essentially, nothing else. And this is like the second time I would say I've done this. And it's a habit that I picked up just to force myself to come up with new creative ideas, come up with new solutions, instead of just falling trapped to a routine, right? Because although routine is great for making progress, it can also serve as, I don't know, sometimes it'll block different creative options. And sorry for the noise, I'm walking through a busy area. But essentially, yeah, I don't want to allow my routine to constrain my thinking. So decided to take off for a week. And I have to say, unlike last time where I found it a bit challenging to just fucking relax and clear my mind and enjoy myself, this time I actually did it a whole lot better. So the first couple days I still was stressed out of my mind and I was still just it took me a while to just break out of, when you're mentally working or your mind is still fixed on certain things, even though your body is you're there, but your mind is elsewhere. That kind of thing. Let me go this way. Yeah, I faced that for first couple days, but then on the third day, it was like a sudden surge of relief that hit me. And that's actually where I think it was just like the new routine settling in, but it really helped me to give me a lot of clarity. And I want to share that, just like the insights from that week, right? I just got back and it was very helpful. So the number one insight is precisely that, right? Your routine, although it is good for progress, can often keep you in that box, can limit your thinking and prevents you from seeing other opportunities or other creative opportunities in a way. And it's not until you literally force yourself to adapt to a new environment where you get a chance to try different things. And it's a good reset for the mind because that clarity came from just having the option to do something different, and or not even the option, just like being forced to do something different because I had to go to a different gym, I had to eat different food or eat at different times, I was sleeping in a different bed. It was just like different, right? And it's things that you don't really notice, like how fixed you are or tied you are to them until you break it apart. On that note, another effect of taking off was that, funny enough, when I got back, now that I've been back for 2 days now, it gave me a whole new sense of appreciation for for my current routine, for what I currently have. So little things that you often take for granted, or I was taking for granted. I'm gonna talk about me. Like having access to a gym, my wide ass monitor, because I didn't have a widescreen monitor. I didn't take it, decided not to. And I ended up missing it a lot. And then it's one of those things that you don't realize how much you miss it until you lose it. And it's a material thing, right? But it applies to a lot of things. I went by myself. My girlfriend didn't join me. And it was also an opportunity to create that space for, for us to be apart and have a different routine, which made it so that when we saw each other, it was a whole lot, just more enjoyable, more present in the moment. And we had a nice date and it was very nice, right? And it's one of those things that because you're so caught up and humans adapt to things really fast, and you have to sometimes force some space for you to miss and appreciate the things that are often taken for granted. Let's see what else. Another great takeaway is that clarity is probably one of the most important things that you can search for, whether you're focused on developing yourself, on your business, on your family, whatever it may be. Because if you are, for whatever reason, because of your environment, because of your stress, your work, problems, etc., life, you get so stressed that you can't really think, you're not going to be able to come up with a solution if you can't fucking think. And this ties into for those of you who are familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, essentially, it's what happens to people who don't have their basic necessities met. They can't really think beyond their current situation because they're fucking stressed. They're worried about how they're gonna survive. So how will they have time to think creatively or think strategically if they're worried about paying rent or groceries? So clarity is very, very much important because your mind is, it's unlimited potential. Truthfully, your mind is the key to everything you want in life, but it's bogged down by so much shit, often by noise in your environment, literal and metaphorical noise, distractions, and clarity and focus. You just need to force situations in your life where you can actually give yourself this space to think. Really, you need to think, because if you don't do that, you're never going to be able to get into a correct headspace to make progress towards your goals, to be the best version you can be for your spouse, your partner, your friends, family member, business partners, etc. So it starts with you. It starts with you being clear on what it is that you want to do. And on that note, tying that is that whole fact. That's another thing. You have to prioritize yourself. You have to be selfish with yourself. If you want to give the best version of yourself to others, you have to be selfish. That's another realization from this week. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. It's a cliche, but it's so fucking true. If you are angry, stressed, distracted, how are you going to be present with, I'm sorry looking so much down, how are you going to be present with the people that you care about, the people that you spend time with? So you need to prioritize yourself, because no one is going to prioritize you. Like, you need to take care of yourself first so that you can take care of others. That's very, very important. Yeah, it's a bunch of mud here, which is why I'm looking down, because it's like puddles and then it shifts. I don't want to break fucking ankle or something. Okay, what else? Other insights? Let me think. So, yeah, that one was very important. It's that, the clarity, focusing on yourself, prioritizing your, I want to say clarity. Clarity is very important. Focus, breaking up the routine so you stimulate creativity, and realizing that self-awareness is needed if you realize that you are in a period maybe where you're not being the best you can be because you've allowed your external circumstances to put pressure on you and you haven't been able to manage it. You need to create space. You need to forcefully create space. Even if it seems like it might be, oh, you're gonna spend money to go on the strip, or it's gonna mess up the routine. Because even my gym, like I canceled my boxing session, something that I really enjoy from my regular weekly routine, that I canceled because I wanted to just try something different and decide if I'm gonna shake the whole thing up, mix it up, might as well change that up as well. So that's very important. Yeah. And then, yeah, just lastly, that was another thing. So this is more of a personal one, is to chill, basically. So especially if you're I'm a very introspective person. I reflect a lot. I think a lot. I overthink a lot. And those periods of time where I'm by myself, I really need it. Are needed for people like me, or people who have a similar personality. And I learned, and it's mostly because of my fucking overactive mind, I need that space to chill and not, literally, is to not give so many fucks about things that really don't matter, because that affects, or starts to slowly affect, the people around me in not always the best way, right? Even myself, if I'm just stressing over dumb shit. So that's very important lesson that I learned. So yeah, I'm back at my place. Decided to record this way, right? Because sometimes I just do the whole fucking setup in my apartment, in my room. And one, I've noticed that if I look at my old videos, the one where I really just ranted or rambled like this, off the cuff, without thinking too much about the setting, if it looks super aesthetic, whatnot. Personally, I enjoy them more than the pre or the overly planned ones. And I noticed they also do a whole lot better for some reason. I don't know. That's how it is. But yeah, wanted to share some quick thoughts that just got back, and now I'm actually looking forward to getting back into the routine. Excited to get back to doing things that I was already that became monotonous, right? And then now it's like I'm eager to get back to them. It's like when you're not drinking, you're being super strict with the gym, not eating junk food, and it happens that sometimes I just crave like a day where I go and get shit faced and drink until I can't drink anymore, and that makes me appreciate water, and that makes it so that even the little things that like drinking water become grandiose experiences. So yeah, I'm back. Gonna be sharing more off the cuff videos, random thoughts as I walk out and about. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.